is a presentation of 3KG Community Broadcasting.
You're listening to The Coach's Cage, presented by the Hamstra Group.
And good evening, everyone. Welcome to Arnie's Pizza on the south side of Rensselaer. It's Coach's Cage program. And Friday night, sectional first round takes place at Rensselaer Central as the Bombers host North Newton. You can hear that game right here on 3kgthecage.com. Go to our website or our 3KG Community Broadcasting Facebook page for the link to that game. Friday night, 7 o'clock start. We'll be on the air of the pregame show at 6:30. One of the participants is Bomber coach Chris Meeks. His Bombers will host North Newton. Before we talk about that, Chris, thanks for coming out today, and tell us about your regular season finale against Hamilton Heights.
Yeah, it was a game we were looking forward to, a game that we lost in week 3 in a heartbreaker, 26-21, and it was kind of ironic that we would get an opportunity to play them again. So it really, in terms of the matchup, and just looking at stats and everything, it looked like it should have been a perfect setup for, a great game going into sectionals. Unfortunately, the rain came down Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and it turned into a mud bowl. We felt like going into the start of that game, the first team that puts points on the board probably is going to win the game because that field was going to deteriorate quickly. It was already a sponge. When you looked at radar before we even took the field, there was a big blob, as you guys probably already knew from sitting in it. There was a big blob of rain that was moving towards Jasper County. Looked like it was going to get there about 6:30. Fortunately, it came about 5 minutes too late. At 6:30, Hamilton Heights took the ball. They had the ball first, and on their second play, they hit a 75-yard touchdown pass to go up 7-0. And then not too long after that, here comes the rain. And like I said, the field conditions were horrible. Either team could run an offense very good, as most of the teams in northern Indiana can attest to. But we had 2 opportunities. We got the ball down inside the 10 2 different times. Unfortunately, it came away with no points. And I know the score was 14-0, but the last points were kind of garbage points at the end. I just discount those. It was basically a 7-0 game. Again, we had 2 opportunities and came up short. And again, frustrating, but not your typical high school football game, playing in the mud, and it was tough conditions. Kids played hard, and it was tough.
Were those drives first half, second half that you got down there?
Yeah, they were first half. It was tough. I'll tell you the most impressive thing by both teams. Number 1, no turnovers. Number 2, both teams had to punt several times, and the long snappers and the punters were phenomenal. Our punter averaged 42, 43 yards a punt on 5 punts, and theirs averaged like around 45. And there were horrible field conditions, poor footing, but those long snappers and punters did a great job. But in terms of an offensive slugfest like we thought it would be, it never transpired into that. The field kind of controlled everything on that, and Mother Nature.
Defensively, then what did you do all right?
Yeah, defensively we did fine. But again, it was like both offenses were spinning in the mud, and that's what they were doing. Both teams moved the ball a little bit. I will say in the second half when they needed to get a push and control the ball, control the clock, they were able to do that. They were big. Very big up front. They're strong up front. Lots of experience back from their runner-up conference team last year. And, they're a very good ball club, and we knew that going in. And, again, we would have liked to play them in dry conditions and just, let this thing play out. But on that particular night, they were the better team.
So now the focus is on North Newton, right?
Yeah. Great thing about Indiana, we can, whatever happened, good or bad, let's throw it aside. And our kids believe in that. And Monday, it was like we were starting the season all over again. So it was like August 1st again. Kids came out all fired up. Doesn't matter if you win or lose, you have to set that aside. And all focus was on North Newton. And it really started Saturday with film study. And, North Newton's changed a lot since last time we played them. We played them week 2. They were in a shotgun spread offense and new quarterback. And since then, that kid's got some experience. They're running a lot of wing T right now. They've got some real weapons in their backfield. So they've got a big physical line. So we've done a lot of film study and a lot of preparation to gear it up for North Newton.
Yeah, they were impressive when we watched them play especially against North White, with their running game, and that's all they did.
We've watched several films of them, and they do look very impressive. They've got some skill players that, you've got number 10, who's extremely quick. He'll be the fastest kid on the field. And against us, he took a kickoff back to the house against us in week 2. They've got 87 and 21 sitting out there at wings, along with 10. And then they've got number 2 as their fullback, and that's their workhorse. I believe he has over 1,000 yards rushing, and he's a good football player. So they've got several good football players that we're going to have to be ready for. And the thing is, you can't just sit back and key on one player because they've got so many weapons. And I think they're doing a great job of running the offense that they're running right now because it makes them multidimensional. And, you can't play the wide side, can't play the short side, can't play strong side, can't play the middle with their fullback. I mean, you've got to defend the whole field against them. And, they're very dangerous offensively, and they're putting up a lot of points.
Is the key going to be stopping their running game?
I think that's – I think that's going to be a big key because, they're very similar to us in terms of philosophy. They want to run the ball, control the clock, control the tempo, and if they get that running game going and they're content with 3-4 yards a pop. So they don't necessarily have to score every time, but they want to control the clock and eat that clock. Same thing we want to do. So
just not give you many possessions or anybody many possessions.
Exactly. So you got to make the most of it. And defensively, they're very quick, aggressive. They do a nice job open field tackling. They attack the line of scrimmage. They got a nice set of linebackers. They've got a big defensive line. So it's got all the makings for a great first round sectional game.
I hate to even ask this question, but I got to. Does it even have all the makings for a trap game against you guys? Even going in knowing that, but things that you can't control that are back there, Andre and looming a week from now if you win.
No.
Things like that.
And I'll tell you why. If you were – first of all, I think coaches do a good job of guarding against that type of stuff. We're not 9-0. We're not 8-1.
No, but you've beaten North Newton.
I get it. I get it. And I'll get there. But we're 5-4. We lost our last game. We played them already, and throw out the score. That was a tough physical game. I don't know if you guys covered that or not. That was a good ball game, and we pulled away at the end. And regardless, I honestly, and I'm being respectful when I say this, but I honestly could care less what happened back in 1983 or back in 1996. That's totally irrelevant with high school kids and our coaching staff. And I know you got to ask the question, but all focus is on this North Newton team. And when you watch them on film, I'm telling you right now, 87, number 2, number 10. I mean, you can keep going. 21. They've got some studs, and our kids understand that. They know that. So we're dialed in. We're focused. We're ready to go, and we've had a great week of practice. And
does your practice change at all during the sectional week compared to regular season?
Yeah, a couple of things. Number one, we've added some wrinkles like we always do at sectional time, but they will too. I mean, they're going to surprise us with something, all right? Number two, we've been doing this now for 9-10. We're on our 10th week. At this point, we can start shortening things up a little bit. So on a Wednesday night where we normally would go to 5:40, we were done at 5 o'clock tonight. Monday night, a lot of times we'd be in film study, studying lots of films and stuff like that. We're out there getting our stuff ready, getting ready for tournament game for Friday. So we cut out a lot of the film that we'd normally watch, But, so we've changed a few things. Most of it's shortening things up, making sure our kids are crisp and sharp and rested and ready to go.
The health factor, we talked a little bit off the air about that. That's got to be one thing you could check off in that's awfully good that you don't have to worry about.
Yeah, and we're very fortunate from the standpoint. A lot of times you get to this point of the year, you've got a lot of kids dinged up and stuff. I think we went through that a little bit halfway through the season. It wasn't so much that we had several kids dinged up. It's they were all at the same position. And we're a running team, and we were hurting at the running back position. But that gave the opportunity for some of our younger kids to step in there, get some experience, and, man, they really stepped up. So I think the thing that comes out of that is the fact that now we've built depth. So we've got depth, and we've got some kids that we'll put in there, and they won't miss a beat because they've played in those big games, West Lafayette, Central Catholic, and so on. The other thing is we will be starting 4 freshmen Friday night, which that's a lot of freshmen. But it's not because we have to. It's because they've earned their way out there, which is a great thing. So we're a roster of almost 50 kids. These kids have emerged as starters, and they've done a great job, and it'll be fun seeing them play in their first sectional.
Is playing in a tournament setting a different mindset than playing in a regular season?
It is. Because in a regular season, you know you've always got next week. Friday night, one team's done. One team's going to hang up their cleats. They're done. It's sudden death. All right? So one team lives and moves on. The other team's going to hang it up. So you better be ready to scratch, claw. You better make sure your kids are dialed in. Kids better not have any, internal issues. Everybody has to be on the same page because all it takes is one bad game, one bad play, and then it's over. And, at some point it will be over. And one team will be hoisting the trophy at the end, but everybody else will be, struggling in the locker room after the game. We don't want that to be us Friday night. So we're going to do everything we can to come out and play our best football come Friday.
This is kind of a weird question, but how do they determine officiating crews in tournament play? How does that work?
Each school, their head coach and their athletic director will vote on officiating crews that they've had. So we won't be voting on crews from southern Indiana, but the crews that we've had in the last 2-3 years, they're sent to us, and then we rate them.
So they come as a crew, a group?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So, you can give them a very high rating, or you can give them a low rating. If you give them a low rating, you got to defend it. You just can't dislike a crew, say, I don't want that crew, so I'm going to give them a low rating. You've got to explain why you're giving them a low rating.
I see.
But the one thing I want to point out is that we take great pride in playing in Hoosier Conference, and we feel like playing Hoosier Conference football prepares us for a 2A tournament. And, playing the Hamilton Heights twice, playing Twin Lakes, playing, the team West Lafayette, Central Catholic. So, we feel like mentally we're at the right place in terms of where we need to be to compete at a high level come Friday night. So, like I said, we're excited. We're ready to go. We're healthy, and we can't wait till Friday.
Of all the elements of your team, passing, pass defense, which one are you most confident playing at their highest right now? And then which one are you a little bit worried about if there has to be one that, might not be right up, or you're just not positive what you're going to get from them? Can you break that down? Are there anybody stand out that way?
Yeah, I'll just put it like this. I'm nervous about everything. If I'm not, or I should say us as a coaching staff, if we're not confident in what we're doing in terms of, offense or defense or special teams or whatever, then we've had 10 weeks to get it fixed. So we're very confident in all of our phases of our game right now. That's a great question. But on the other hand,
there's stuff you can't control.
There are. There's some things we can't control. What I'm like for us is, in the Hoosier Conference, size is a factor with us sometimes, especially skill players. We have some nice athletes, but then you go against West Lafayette, they've got 6'3", 6'4", 185-pound guys at receiver. Our corners are 5'8", 5'9". So there's some mismatches in terms of.
Certainly.
But as far as football players and toughness, we like our guys. We feel like, again, we have our kids best prepared to play as they can. So we're very confident across the board. But also, too, we're worried about some of the things that North Newton brings to the table and poses to us. Yep.
Are the younger Bombers all finished? Everybody finished?
Yeah. I'll tell you what. Last night, man, we picked up a JV game with McCutcheon.
Oh, wow.
And they came to our place, and And our field's in great shape, by the way. After last Friday, I wasn't sure how it was going to be, but it was fast track and everything last night. And you want to talk about fast track? It was a track meet. And we were thinking the first team to 80 was gonna win the game because it started off like bam, bam, bam. But it ended up being 36-35.
Wow.
Yep, 36-35. And both teams had fun and got after it. So that was a disappointing loss, of course. I mean, anytime you lose, it's disappointing. But I thought our kids played very well, played hard. Our middle school went down to Central Catholic, which is always a tough place to play. Our 7th grade had a nice win. Our 8th grade lost a tough one. Our 7th grade won by a touchdown, and our 8th grade lost by a touchdown. And then flag football wrapped up. Huge crowd. Beautiful day. We had double headers, tons of people there. So, yeah, it was a great week for football and great way to get the sectional first round started.
Probably can't wait till Friday night, can you?
Can't. We're itching to go. You know what's weird, and I don't know why it is like this. I don't know if it's because it's fall break or what, but Monday I thought was Tuesday. Tuesday I thought was Wednesday. Wednesday, I was thinking today's Thursday. But I think part of it is we're so used to watching film and getting into that routine on Mondays and having a JV game and stuff that we actually made Monday our Tuesday night practice, our long practice. And since we did that, it's kind of thrown me off all week.
So what are you doing tomorrow night for practice?
Tomorrow will be our walkthrough. And
That's walkthrough means you don't hit each other, or you just...
No, we still hit.
Do you?
Maybe we just called a walkthrough, but, yeah, we'll still be
So,
hitting,
okay.
popping pads and stuff. But just want to make sure our special teams are ready to go. Kids are mentally focused, answer any last-minute adjustments, questions, whatever. And just, at this point, if we're not ready to go, we're not going to be ready. So just it's a short, get out there, practice for an hour. Then we go to a sectional team dinner. And parents put that on. Tomorrow's pasta night. That sounds good, doesn't it, Bill?
Sure does.
Yeah. So lasagna and that type of stuff.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. Lots of carbs, and then we're ready to go come Friday.
One thing I don't think I've ever asked you, what's your philosophy on the coin flip?
Depends. I mean, it depends on the situation. More times than not, I like to defer where we can get the ball first to start the second half. But it depends. That's a good question going into last Friday. We saw the rain coming. The field was still a sponge. If we kicked off, we had a strong wind from the north where we could really pin them back, let our defense dig in. We just had to avoid a big play. Well, second play, they get a 75-yard pass and get out of it and get their score. But there was also thought of taking the ball first before the rain comes, but it was still a spongy field. I mean, they still had that issue. So, it just depends on the situation. But more times than not, I like to defer and get the ball first to start the second half.
All right. Well, we'll see you out there, all right?
All right, sounds good.
Good luck,
Thanks,
Coach.
Chris.
It's fun to get this thing started.
That's right.
All right.
Chris Meeks from the Rensselaer Southern Bombers. Back with more of the Coach's Cage program on 3kgthecage.com right after this.
For over 60 years, Hamster Group has helped build America. In 1958, a small Northwest Indiana builder began constructing homes. Through the years, by following the motto, quality and integrity you can depend on, Hamster Group has grown. Today, Hamster Group's associated around the country with homes, schools, shopping malls, churches, medical buildings, and more. So for your next project, large or small, and quality and integrity you can depend on, call 219-956-3111 and speak with the experts at Hamster Group.
High-quality personalized dental service is what they do at Hillcrest Dental. For over 40 years, generations have relied on Hillcrest Dental for beautiful, healthy smiles. Dr. John Ayler and Dr. Jack Drone look forward to seeing you for your next dental visit. For information or to set your appointment, call 219-866-7117. That's 219-866-7117 or visit hillcrestdental.net. Hillcrest Dental is a proud sponsor of all high school athletics.
Meet you at Arnie's, Rensselaer's go-to pizza and so much more. Pizza, sandwiches, burgers are here. Don't forget about dessert. Wings, cheese sticks, garlic bread too. Arnie's pizza menu has something for everyone. Dine in or carry out in the best pizza in town. Located across from St. Joseph's College in Rensselaer. Call 219-866-9999 and meet you at Arnie's.
Working with our customers has been Kentland Bank's trademark for 87 years. We're dedicated to making your visit a lasting one, and helping you achieve your goals is our #1 priority. With 5 locations, Kentland Bank offers all loans needed for today's businesses and families, including car loans, mortgages, agriculture, and commercial loans. We're here to make your busy life less hectic by offering online and mobile banking, bill pay, and P2P payments. Member FDIC and equal housing lender.
Hi, this is Chuck Clark with the Underwood Insurance Agency, formerly Preferred Insurance Group. Are you tired of being sacked every month with your auto insurance bill? Do you feel you just pay your premium to your agent and never hear from them? We at the Underwood Insurance Agency work with over 10 insurance carriers to get you our best rate and coverage we can, and we pride ourselves on serving our customers like they are our family. We are conveniently located in Remington and Lafayette. We can be reached at underwoodagency.com. Reach out to us to score big savings.
You're listening to The Coach's Cage, presented by the Hamstra Group.
Welcome back here to Arnie's Pizza. Thank the gang here at Arnie's for feeding and providing drinks to the coaches. We have Rensselaer Central hosting North Newton on Friday night. 2 area teams playing in the first round of the sectional. They'll be on the air around 6:45 pregame, 7 o'clock kickoff. And another Jasper County team will be at home, I believe, right, James Broyles?
That's right. Yep.
James, thanks for coming up, coming down. I appreciate it. We were there Friday night, and Bill and I were there. We couldn't believe that first quarter. What was there?
Man.
4 turnovers?
5.
5 in the first quarter?
5, yeah. 5 in the first quarter.
And you scored once, right?
Right, scored once. And like we talked about, if I tell you we'd have the ball inside the 30, 4 times in the first quarter. Yeah, all the time. And we only come away with a touchdown, you'd say you're crazy. But that's...
Was that the turning point then, you think?
No, I think the turning point was probably we give it up to score in the second, right before the half. I think that was one of those. It was kids were looking at this as a 14-0 lead, and all of a sudden, I think they scored off a turnover, if I remember right.
They had 30 yards of penalties too.
Correct.
Exactly.
And just odd things happening that whole game. Whether it was not capitalizing on inside the 30. We have some calls, some questionable calls. You're like, man.
I didn't even know what they were.
And that was the thing, and that was the problem. I get it. Hey, if there's a penalty, there's a penalty, but at least let us know what it is so we can address it.
They just walked off the yardage and didn't even say anything.
Yeah, it was unfortunate. The guy by us, he didn't want to talk to anybody, so he didn't say anything. I asked him what number, and he's, I don't know, Coach. Great.
Then that's all you can say. You can't say anything else.
It's one of those games.
Oh, my.
So, yeah, but the thing was, defensively played great. Offensively, we moved the ball in the first half. We just couldn't capitalize and stuff. And there's probably some times where you kind of think, okay, maybe we kick a field goal. But, man, in that weather, and I think everybody was dealing with it at that time, it's like, you know what?
Yeah, it was pouring down rain.
Yeah, let's go. And we were in short yard situations anyway. But, no, defensively played really well. We got after them. And that was a Highland team that's, they're better than they have been in the past, and they're doing a lot of different things offensively, trying to space you out and spread you out. And the quarterback's actually a pretty decent kid. And I thought our defense did really well, especially in the first half. But, like we've talked about time and time again, it's a game of 2 halves, right? So
yes, it is.
You got to come back in the second half and continue that momentum. And that was unfortunately something we couldn't do. Turnovers, penalties. I think we were getting penalties at just such the wrong time of the game. Not like you ever want to get a penalty. I think it's the right time, but you got a big play. That you just gained about 20, 25 yards, and now it's coming back, and you're like, it takes the air out of you.
Penalties just kill you in high school football.
They really do. And they're all 16, 17-year-old kids out there. And man, it's just you sometimes in those plays you only get one time to make that play, and when it's brought back because of penalties, it's hard to recover.
Did you also lose 2 running backs at one point? Did you?
We did.
Back?
Yeah, after the first touchdown run, our Jack Lamka had an ankle issue, and so he was out. And then we put in Kate Capps, and
who did really well for a while.
Did really well. And then all of a sudden, about a quarter and a half later, he's dinged up a little bit, So now we're sitting there, and next options, we got our starting middle backer, and he's an option, and the next kid after that is a freshman. And you hate to put. I'm not one to want to put freshmen in on the varsity level. It's just how I feel about it. But at this point in time, you're kind of running out of options.
Yeah.
And he did fine. I mean, he's a good kid, freshman running back, and he'll be fine. But, in that environment, I mean, it's pouring down rain. That's a lot on a kid's shoulders that hadn't taken a snap on varsity level,
Sure.
So, yeah, we did what we could. And, it was unfortunate. I mean, we're going to get one back this week. Jack will be able to come back, and he'll be able to play. And, unfortunately, we want to have Cade this week, but I mean, hopefully we'll, if it so be it, if we are able to win and move on, and hopefully we'll give him the second week.
What did you think about your regular season? What did you finish, and what are your thoughts on
that?
What
we at? What was that? 3-6? 3-6, I think it was. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, I mean, it's disappointing because when you coming into the season, you obviously, as a staff, you have your hopes up, and you have your you kind of know where you are, where you hope to be as a team, and you kind of looking at, okay, we have X, Y, and Z back, this year, and things should be fairly looking good. But for us, we're not a very deep team, and when you start adding on injuries right away, then you start having to shuffle, kids around, and I think that was one of the things. I mean, even if it's only a couple injuries, and for us, I mean, you lose a couple players, well, now it affects like 4 or 5 positions. Now you got kids, shuffling kids around. So, I mean, overall it's okay. I mean, it's not what we wanted. It's not what we were gearing towards. But at the same time, given the situation that we were handed, I think the kids handled it well. And now look at the schedule. I mean, man, we were just talking about it. That's a heck of a schedule to play. You look up and down, and you had ranked teams everywhere, and it was a great pickup for Lafayette Harrison, which I'm so happy we played that game. But I mean, I think right now they're 4 and 5A, and I mean, it's just it's good to play that schedule, and I'm happy with it because now I feel going into our sectional, it helps us. It gives us something to look forward to, build upon. And I think the kids realize that. So,
Billy, why don't you read over their sectional, who's playing what and where and all that good stuff?
In the, you guys are in the top half of the bracket. Of course, you're hosting South Bend Riley, comes in at 1-5, and then opposite of you guys are South Bend St. Joe 2-7, and Logansport at 5-2. So they're probably the favorite, I guess, in the top half of the bracket, I would say. In the bottom half, you've got 0-9 Plymouth. It's at 7-2 New Prairie, and then Culver Academy, which is 6-3, is at 0-8 South Bend Clay. So I guess pick them between New Prairie and Culver in the bottom half.
I'll tell you, you look at the top half. That I mean, obviously for who we draw, I mean, you look at it and as far as record-wise, you look at it like, okay, this is doable. I mean, but they're a very athletic team. I mean, they will they pose some issues athletically for us.
Riley?
Yep. Riley does. I mean, their quarterback is really good, very elusive. I mean, he can actually throw the ball. I mean, when his receivers decide they want to catch, they're dangerous. So, but however, again, we go back to it. Our kids, we play mistake-free football, and I think we'll be okay. But you look at that second game, I tell you, St. Joe, I know the record doesn't show it, but I mean they play a tough schedule, and I think that they have an opportunity to pull off that upset. I mean Logansport, they've done well this year, but St. Joe hasn't. They've been playing pretty well here recently.
That's why you coaches never focus on the regular season schedule, do you?
Well, you know what? Yeah, you want to.
The record.
Right.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes. Thank you, Indiana. For high school football.
Sure.
Everybody gets in, and it's a new season for everybody. So, which is, I mean, I love it. You never know what's going to happen.
Sure.
What are you going to have to do to win Friday night?
First of all, we got to limit our penalties. We got to stop penalties. I mean, big penalties. I mean,
Big ones, yeah.
big ones. We got to stop that. Up to this year, we really hadn't had a lot of big penalties thrown against us. We were really good on that. But here recently we've had some personal foul issues that we've got to clean up. And the other is, honestly, we talked about it last week as well. It's just not. It's get out of the negative play situation. I mean, I don't care if it's back to, run the ball. It's back to even. We just can't lose yards. We just can't. We're not made up that way to be able to make up, that big of losses. So if we can stay even to positive, I mean, I think we'll be just fine.
You had a lot of 2 and 20s.
We did.
Third.
I mean, and you ask any coach. I mean, you got 2 and 20. What's your play call here?
There isn't any.
You don't have them. Yeah, it's there. It doesn't work out so well. So, yeah, I mean, it's not like you're sitting back there with waiting for Warren Central or something. I mean, it's just the way it is. You don't have those play calls, for a 2 and 20. So you limit that stuff, and I think we'll be just fine. I really do believe that. We'll be sitting here hopefully next week or whenever and talking about Logansport or St. Joe.
How the younger Cougars finish up? They're probably finished with their season now yet?
Yeah,
or no?
yeah. 8th grade's finished up. They already had their awards night. 7th grade was done fairly quick. I mean, they got a late start just because of COVID issues, stuff like that. But they had a few games. But both teams did well. I mean, we above 500 for the 8th grade, which is good for their season. 7th grade, I think, for what they had, I think they only lost 1 or 2 games, which was great. Our freshmen lost 1 to Hobart, so they finished up the year really well. And JV-wise, we ended up, I think, only a couple losses. So, I mean, moving ahead, I mean, it's really good to see. The kids are growing, and they're doing well. So,
you had a lot of seniors to replace, though, don't you?
We do. We had, I think it was 18 of them.
Yeah,
that's a lot.
It took a long time there in the pregame the other night.
Yeah, it's a little different from the year before, I mean, because the year before I think we were like 6. But yeah, it's 18 seniors. It's a lot. It's some good leadership there. So a lot of hard work put in over the 4 years for those kids, and they made
to get a class like that every year.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they made a stamp on the program. I mean, given the year and the record, I get it. It didn't look the best, but I mean, there's a lot of hard work put in and a lot of good things that these guys have brought, the past 4 years.
Well, James, good luck, and we hope to talk with you next Wednesday.
I meant to ask you one quick question. How did that feel? How did your turf field hold up in that kind of conditions?
It was awesome.
Was it?
Yeah, it was really good. I was nervous a little bit about it because I didn't know how slick it was going to be, but no, it held up really well. Really well. So, yeah.
Really pays off on
it does.
Like that.
It does. I mean, to each your own if they like it or not, but I personally think it's a pretty good deal to have. So,
all right, Jim, thanks a lot.
Thank you guys very much.
All right. James Broyles from the Kankakee Valley Cougars. Back and talk a little West Central football with Mark Hall right after this.
Hey, Bob, let me go.
For over 60 years, Hamster Group has helped build America. In 1958, a small Northwest Indiana builder began constructing homes. Through the years, by following the motto, quality and integrity you can depend on, Hamster Group has grown. Today, Hamster Group's associated around the country with homes, schools, shopping malls, churches, medical buildings, and more. So for your next project, large or small, and quality and integrity you can depend on, call 219-956-3111 and speak with the experts at Hamster Group.
Hi, this is Chuck Clark with the Underwood Insurance Agency, formerly Preferred Insurance Group. Are you tired of being sacked every month with your auto insurance bill? Do you feel you just pay your premium to your agent and never hear from them? We at the Underwood Insurance Agency work with over 10 insurance carriers to get you our best rate and coverage we can, and we pride ourselves on serving our customers like they are our family. We are conveniently located in Remington and Lafayette. We can be reached at underwoodagency.com. Reach out to us to score big savings.
High-quality personalized dental service is what they do at Hillcrest Dental. For over 40 years, generations have relied on Hillcrest Dental for beautiful, healthy smiles. Dr. John Ayler and Dr. Jack Drone look forward to seeing you for your next dental visit. For information or to set your appointment, call 219-866-7117. That's 219-866-7117. Or visit hillcrestdental.net. Hillcrest Dental is a proud sponsor of all high school athletics.
Working with our customers has been Kentland Bank's trademark for 87 years. We're dedicated to making your visit a lasting one, and helping you achieve your goals is our #1 priority. With 5 locations, Kentland Bank offers all loans needed for today's businesses and families, including car loans, mortgages, agriculture, and commercial loans. We're here to make your busy life less hectic by offering online and mobile banking, bill pay, and P2P payments. Member FDIC and equal housing lender.
Meet you at Arnie's, Rensselaer's go-to pizza and so much more. Pizza, sandwiches, burgers are here. Don't forget about dessert. Wings, cheese sticks, garlic bread too. Arnie's pizza menu has something for everyone. Dine in or carry out in the best pizza in town. Located across from St. Joseph's College in Rensselaer. Call 219-866-9999 and meet you at Arnie's.
You're listening to The Coach's Cage, presented by the Hamstra Group.
Welcome back to the 3KG Coach's Cage, brought to you every Wednesday night at Arnie's, featuring regional coaches, head coaches, and such from the area football teams. And very interesting night we've got tonight with look ahead towards Friday's sectional pairings. Hey, don't forget, if you're looking for some great food before the big game or anytime, stop by the Wagon Wheel Grill on South College Avenue in Rensselaer. From their famous Wagon Masters sandwich to the great homemade chili, the Wagon Wheel is a place where you satisfy your hungry. Stop or call Wagon Wheel Grill at 219-866-9942. Whether you dine in or carry out, a delicious meal is what you'll have. And don't forget, look for that Wagon Master and chili combo. Joining us now is West Central Coach, and Coach, it was another tough week for the Trojans, but you know, now all bets are off and you're heading into a clean slate. So why don't you give us a little recap of last Friday's action?
Yeah, it was senior night against North White on Friday. So we were, before the game, able to honor all our senior athletes for football, cheerleaders, band members, cross country as well. So everyone got to be out there to get to see the seniors and congratulate them on 3-4 years or so, whatever, how many times they've been in the sport. So start off with a nice night like that.
How many seniors did you have on the football squad?
We have 3 seniors, but only 2 are currently healthy enough to be playing. So,
oh, man, that's...
not very many seniors,
no.
So we got
that
a lot of guys
behind the 8 ball, right off.
Yeah, it does, and we got a lot of guys that will be back for next year's team. So that'll be nice once we get to there. But we're able to give the guys their recognition, start the game. So that was a nice way to start. Unfortunately, we just didn't do much of anything offensively on Friday night. We got the ball first and did some good things originally. We were able to, first couple plays, we went on a bubble pass, got 17 yards on it. Then we ran another play out of the same formation and were able to run a quarterback draw and get about 28 or so. So first couple plays, we're moving it, and then we felt pretty good. However, that unfortunately didn't last, and we ended up punting the ball away after that drive. So we got to around their 30 or so and decided to do like a pooch punt. And it was a really nice punt. It was rolling really slowly and then made one last roll, and it unfortunately crossed the end zone, so it was a touchback then. So North White got the ball, and they started moving it, and then we stopped them. And as we got the ball, they stopped us. It was back and forth like that in the first quarter. Got to the second quarter. They were able to score in the second quarter, and then we still offensively didn't do much. The first time they scored, they got the ball at our 30 off of a punt. We just kept backing ourselves up on the offensive possession and didn't get a great punt off, and they got really good field position in the 30, and were able to go in and score. The next possession, same type of thing. We didn't move it, and they got them to get the ball at the 40, and it was a 4th and 7 play, and then we had guys back, and then they came up a little bit too much, and they were able to get a guy behind us and were able to score on that one. So it's 14-0, and that's all the scoring there was, were those two possessions in the second quarter. And other than that, offensively we didn't do a whole lot. Defensively, we played well enough to win. We did some nice things defensively. We had Bladen Huber making a lot of tackles for us again. Gerardo Salazar was in the secondary. He was knocking down some passes. Aiden White was moving around quite a bit and making plays. Blake Hughes up front was making some plays. So we had guys doing stuff. It's just offensively, we just, for whatever reason, we couldn't get anything going.
Did the weather have any effect on that or not?
Weather was for both teams. I mean, North White had to play in it too. We did throw an interception in the rain, but they were able to throw passes that were at least incomplete. So we did have an interception and a fumble that we lost, but they were playing in it too. So we can't say that it was because of that. But the field overall wasn't awful. It was pretty good shape still for our game tomorrow, our game this week. So it was a little slick here and there, but I mean it's not the worst that we've ever played on.
Mark, did you threaten like you did that first drive at all?
Not the rest of the game, no. Again, whatever reason, we couldn't get going. They came out in a defense that we showed them in practice that this is how they're going to line up, and there's some places we can exploit, but for whatever reason, we just weren't able to get it done.
Assess your regular season.
We had opportunities. The thing that hurt us probably the most was in week 1 losing the person we expected to be our quarterback and that we spent the time with in the summer, getting a lot of reps to helping him understand things. But he is only a sophomore, so he will be back for us in the future. But probably that really kind of put us back a little bit, because now we're having to retrain people on what to do, and with our offense and have to make reads, it is difficult for that quarterback to pick up on things right away. So I think that put us back a little bit as far as some progress we needed to make. But and we made some strides at different time points throughout the year. We had opportunities in conference games. Our non-conference games we need to be more competitive in, but our conference games we were in all of them at some point. South Newton is probably the worst one for us, but all the other ones we were there. We had opportunities. We just needed to take advantage of them and finish some things off, especially offensively. I think defensively probably played a little bit better than offense this year. And we just haven't scored very many points yet this year. So we got to, for this week, we got to get some things turned around and improved there.
Tell us who you play and tell us about the game.
Yeah, we played Winamac at home. We played them a couple weeks ago. They beat us 35-0, but we got another chance at them and another shot. So we're going to do everything we can. We're going to make sure that we're leaving it all on the field. And at this point, as some of the other coaches have talked to you, that what happened in the regular season doesn't matter anymore. So it's what happens Friday. Friday is the only thing. It's who's best team Friday night. That's the only thing that matters. And that's going to be the truth for here on out until November.
Tell us about Winamac.
Yeah, Winamac, they right now they're undefeated on the season, but they've had different time points this year where they've had some COVID issues, so they haven't played a full 9-game schedule. They, I believe, did win their conference. They didn't play everybody they're scheduled to in their conference, but I think they still were given the championship because they were the only undefeated team in the conference. So, they're coming off that. They're the first team that has beaten Pioneer since that Hoosier North Athletic Conference has formed. So they're feeling really good about themselves, feeling really confident. They got a lot of seniors. They got 23 of them. So they
23 seniors.
23. So they've got guys that have been playing for a while, and they know what they're doing.
Holy cow! I never heard of 23 seniors on an 8 team.
Yeah, wow. They've got like 50-something guys on the roster.
Holy smokes! Man, that's a lot.
Yeah.
So what's the key? What are going to be the keys Friday night for West Central?
Execution. Do our things. Make sure we take care of the football. Make sure we block, tackle. It's the simple things that we have to make sure that we are going to do a better job than what they do. We got to block people. We got to tackle people.
You said that before.
I have, yeah. Football is simple. Just block better, tackle better than the other team, and you should give yourself a good shot. Yeah,
that's right. That's all you have to do. Just let it hang out, and don't worry about it. You shouldn't have any pressure on you. And
no, I mean that's the thing. The pressure's all on them. We gotta show up and be in it.
All right. Well,
Mark, has there been any surprises in this season? It seems like, geez, Pete, we're just sitting here for the preseason first talk with you, and we're wrapping up the year already. What has gone on these 9 weeks? Anything that out of the ordinary, or you hadn't seen before? Or?
There was a couple of freshmen that they stepped in and did a nice job. That like Christian Hughes, that last couple of weeks has been really turning it on, and been very excited about seeing that from him, to where he's going to be pushing for a lot of playing time, and probably next year going to be probably getting a spot on the starting lineup somewhere, because he's doing a nice job so far. There's a couple other freshmen like Jaden Miller. He's doing a really nice job for us. So I'd like to see his progress and see how he goes into next year too. But really just the biggest surprise, I guess, was losing our quarterback, then just seeing Bladen Huber be able to step up from being our fullback to being the quarterback, and learning really on the fly of everything he had to do.
Oh, is he a senior?
Yes.
Senior, okay.
Yeah, he is a senior. He's been leading us offensively, defensively this year. And he's going to be a hard one to replace. But, Connor Marlatt will be back next year, and he's the guy that was injured at the beginning of the year. So, we were very confident in what he was going to be able to do, and we were going to.
And what happened to him? What?
He had a broken collarbone on the second play of offense in game one.
That shock you, I bet.
Yeah, it was what we're going to do now type thing, because we, like I said, we spent all summer getting him ready to go, and Bladen was our fullback, and. We were very excited about what those two were going to be able to do together, and then it was, after Connor gets injured, it's move everybody around and really basically, like I said, we got to reteach everything.
Wow, that's hard to take, man. The first game of the year. That's, yeah. Well, Mark, thanks for coming over, and good luck Friday night. We'll talk to you next Wednesday. Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Mark Hall from the West Central Trojans. Back and talk with North Newton coach Scott Rao right after this on the Cage.
Meet you at Arnie's, Rensselaer's go-to pizza and so much more. Pizza, sandwiches, burgers are here. Don't forget about dessert. Wings, cheese sticks, garlic bread too. Arnie's pizza menu has something for everyone. Dine in or carry out in the best pizza in town. Located across from St. Joseph's College in Rensselaer. Call 219-866-9999 and meet you at Arnie's.
Hi, this is Chuck Clark with the Underwood Insurance Agency, formerly Preferred Insurance Group. Are you tired of being sacked every month with your auto insurance bill? Do you feel you just pay your premium to your agent and never hear from them? We at the Underwood Insurance Agency work with over 10 insurance carriers to get you our best rate and coverage we can, and we pride ourselves on serving our customers like they are our family. We are conveniently located in Remington and Lafayette. We can be reached at underwoodagency.com. Reach out to us to score big savings.
Working with our customers has been Kentland Bank's trademark for 87 years. We're dedicated to making your visit a lasting one, and helping you achieve your goals is our #1 priority. With 5 locations, Kentland Bank offers all loans needed for today's businesses and families, including car loans, mortgages, agriculture, and commercial loans. We're here to make your busy life less hectic by offering online and mobile banking, bill pay, and P2P payments. Member FDIC and equal housing lender. For over 60 years, Hamster Group has helped build America. In 1958, a small Northwest Indiana builder began constructing homes. Through the years, by following the motto, quality and integrity you can depend on, Hamster Group has grown. Today, Hamster Group's associated around the country with homes, schools, shopping malls, churches, medical buildings, and more. So for your next project, large or small, and quality and integrity you can depend on, call 219 956-3111 and speak with the experts at Hamstra Group.
High-quality personalized dental service is what they do at Hillcrest Dental. For over 40 years, generations have relied on Hillcrest Dental for beautiful, healthy smiles. Dr. John Ayler and Dr. Jack Drone look forward to seeing you for your next dental visit. For information or to set your appointment, call 219-866-7117. That's 219-866-7117. Or visit hillcrestdental.net. Hillcrest Dental is a proud sponsor of all high school athletics.
You're listening to The Coach's Cage, presented by the Hamstra Group.
All right. Scott Rao from the North Newton Spartans has joined us. Scott, first of all, congratulations on another Midwest Conference championship, a hard-fought win last week against Tri-County, huh?
Yes, thank you. It was the kids came through what they needed to do.
12-0, is that what?
Yeah, we scored early twice in the first quarter.
Really? Yeah.
Go up 12-0, and then by then it was already raining, but by then the field was a mess, and it started to become harder and harder to run anywhere, move your footing, or get out of the middle of the field. And
is that harder for linemen when it's real wet and rainy, or is it harder for the skill players?
It's harder for the skill players because they're used to being able. Linemen are used to going slow, so it's not it's not as big a deal for them. The skill guys are. They're expecting to cut and do all that, all that athletic stuff.
Big old former lineman.
Big lineman. See, we know. That was kind of good. It kind of equalizes it now. The linemen feel just as good. But, no, it just made it hard for us to maintain stuff and to do things. And obviously it did the same to them. It limited both offenses to what you could actually do because I think we tried 2 passes and they tried 1 because it was just raining and you couldn't hardly get a hold of the football very well. And because even if you brought a dry one all the time, but, I asked the referee once, can you guys stand over the ball or put a towel over it or something while we're in the huddle? He goes, well, we get a dry ball from you. I said, I know, but you go to the sideline, get a dry ball, take it out, set it on the ground. We're in the huddle. By the time we get to it, it's soaked, So, because it rained steady. I mean, it wasn't, downpouring, but it never stopped. We went out for pregame. It was kind of a fooler because there was no rain, and it seemed to be pretty good. We went in the locker room, turned around, come back out, start the game, and it's raining.
Yeah.
And it rained the entire time, not stopping at all. So, by the time we got into the second half, we had a couple other opportunities. We moved the ball down the field. One time we fumbled on the 1-yard line, probably going in to score, and so that took that opportunity away. But, they had the same issues, and it was a sloppy game, but it was hard fought. Both teams played very hard, and I thought it was played really pretty well. You just were limited to what you could do. Any of the big plays or big cuts or anything like that were kind of taken away. But, early we got the ball, drove downfield, scored, and, went up 6-0, and then, he held them, and then they punted, and Lane Zander ran the punt back. He got outside again, and away he went. And
he's done that a lot this year.
That's his 3rd punt return. He had 2 in the very first game against South Newton, and that was the first one he's had since then. But he's had a couple kickoff returns for touchdowns too. But this one was on a punt, ran it back, and boom, we're up 12-0 at the end of the first quarter. Things are going well, and then we got in the second quarter, and that's when we took it down there and fumbled, and then we had another time we went down there, and, going for a first down, and we slip in the backfield and lose 5 yards. They didn't get tackled. We just slip and fall, and and next thing you know, But in any case, and a lot of things for Tri-County. They come in 0-7, and their kids played hard. We got their best game. I told our kids all the time, in the position that you're in, winning conferences, you're going to get everybody's best game, and we got their best game. They played fairly well. For the conditions, I'm sure they thought there's a lot more things they would have been able to do too. But we survived and got through it, and the seniors accomplished. I said that they went 4 years undefeated in the conference as a class, that senior class, from freshman all the way up for 4 straight years. I said, I don't have any of the records here, but at North Newton, but I'm pretty sure nobody else has done that. So, in any conference that they're in, so it's a pretty good thing, and I'm really proud of them. I thought they did a fantastic job all year of staying focused on those games. I said, so we've accomplished two of our three main goals were win the conference. We did that. Have a winning record. With that win, we assured ourselves of a winning record when you get that 6th win. So I said there's two of the three, and the third one's a sectional. Now we're starting that, so now we need to get ourselves refocused on, and like everybody says, it's a brand new season. So, we got to get refocused on that.
Who played well for you the other night before we start talking about the sectional?
Well, I thought up front we played very well. I thought Matt Berry had a really good game. Drew Clovis, Anthony French, those guys on that strong side did a pretty good job. The whole line, really, with Arden Kalinsky at center and Connor Scatella at guard and Joe Stileski at the other tackle. I thought they did a really good job. And obviously, Caden Rowland ran well again. He was over 100 yards rushing. I think just barely 105 or 106 yards rushing on the night.
Probably 30 or 35 attempts, right?
No, only 25.
You ran him light.
Yeah, well, yeah, but it as a mutter, we were going, and that really you would have thought he would have ran more, being the type of game it was. But as we went through it, he played well. I thought everybody did. I'm really proud defensively of the effort everybody's given, because that's another shutout. I always tell them, how you win games is to score more points than the other team. And,
you got that out there this week again.
I tell you, get it out there again. If we hold them to 0, that's a lot easier to do. So, that's why I always tell them, that's why they say defense wins championships, because if you can hold them down, it's easier to outscore people.
You have simple goals,
I'm a simple guy, Bob. I'm not very complicated. So I try not to get too far out there or I get lost. So, but
talking about that yearly accomplishments, rolling with 1,000-yard season, that's pretty. You guys have some good runners there year after year now.
Well, yes, he's a very good talent. He was a great kid coming in last year as a freshman. And he wanted to play running back last year. But we had some guys back here already, and we really need help on the line. So I say, hey, if you help us out, this year on the line, which he did. He played offensive line. And I said, I'll give you a shot to next year at running back.
So he went from offensive lineman back to a running back, huh?
I mean, he'd been a running back all the time in junior high. He was their main guy, and he was all that. But, I already had Dylan Olive, and I already had some other running backs that were older. I said, we need help on the line. Would you do it? Because he's a good athlete. The kid can play anywhere. There's no question about that. And so, he did it last year, playing defensive end, playing offensive line. I told him this year you'll get a shot in the running back. If you win that spot, you're going to run the football.
He even runs backwards.
Yeah.
Like you did at North White.
Sure. Yeah. Whatever works, as long as he keeps going in the right direction. I don't care which way he's facing. But, he's done a great job this year. He came in. He didn't bat an eye last year. He did what he was supposed to do, what he had to do. Came this year, wanted to play running back, put him back here. We started off slow with him and Braden Schoon kind of rotating in there. But as soon as we went, putting the quarterback under center was a no-brainer, which is why we did it, because we had a fullback like Caden. And, he fits that wing T system pretty good, so we can run the football with him. And he's a very durable kid, he can run 25, 30, 35 times a game while he's playing defense and doing everything, all the special teams. The kid don't really come off the field. He's done a fantastic job for us this year. And I'm glad to see he got the 1,000 yards, got another game to add to it this week, and then, on and on as much as we can. I'm proud of him. The kid's done a great job. He's figuring stuff, and he's only a sophomore, and he's still learning. I think he's going to only get better as he learns, kind of the angles and where the holes actually open up in that type of offense, because it's the first time he's run the ball behind it, really, in that kind of scheme with the down blocks and the kickouts and figuring out where those lanes normally are. He's going to be very productive.
What do you think of your regular season?
Well, obviously, you want to win every game, but, you go into it. Like I said, that goal was to have a winning record and win the conference. We did that. Struggled with our non-conference schedule. We went 1-3 out of those 4 games.
But that might have been one of your most impressive wins was that the way you hammered Delphi.
Well, I thought so too. Coming in because we played Rensselaer in week 2, then North Judson in 3, then Kage Valley in week 4, and you go in, you're playing Rensselaer. It was a very good program. Chris has got them working pretty good. Whether it's an up year, down year, doesn't matter. They're going to be very solid. They're physical up front, and they present a lot of problems for you. That's it. And then North Judson, who is up and down, but is very physical right now and is in their upswing. They're pretty good. And then, Kage Valley, they're a 4A school. They got big guys. We're outsized, but we're going to battle with them. And I think even though we lost those 3 games, it made us better. Our guys understand what it takes to be good. Yes, they won the conference, and we won all 5 games in that, which is very good. But they understand that to get anywhere, playing those better teams, you have to play them to understand what it takes to win. It's as we get in the tournament, it's going to be a really tough go as we go. I liked our non-conference schedule, and like you said, I thought Delphi, we played really well against a quality 2A opponent, and might have been one of our better games, and I think we are better playing our best ball as we get here to the end of the season, which is what you're trying to do as you get ready for the tournament.
A lot of the times in sectional play, you play an opponent that you don't know much about, but that's not the case this week where you take on Rensselaer Central for the second time this year. But as Chris Meek said before, he said both teams have changed a lot since that first meeting a few weeks ago.
Well, yeah, we have, because personnel is a little bit different, and and who you got, whether it be because of injuries or COVID or just you're changing people around or maneuvering other people. We changed completely to the offense pretty much, so we've changed a lot more than they have. But even though the personnel are pretty close to the same, but we changed our style of offense, so it's going to be different. Yeah, and what he's saying, when you get into the tournament, one of the real cool things about the tournament is playing people you don't normally see. So a lot of times you like to do that, go places where you don't normally go and see teams you don't normally see to see how you're doing. But, going into this, I like it. I mean, you're playing somebody, and like I said, somebody else once, I don't have to try to convince them what it's going to take. They know what it's going to take to win the game. I don't have to try to convince them how good Rensselaer is or what they're going to see or how physical it is or what the style of offense is. They've seen it. They know. They know what they're going to get. They know what it's going to take to be able to do it. And, so this week in practice, we're working on stuff, and our guys already know what they need to do, and how they need to do it. Now, whether we're going to be able to or not, obviously we're better than we were then, but so are they. So, both teams have practiced all year since week 2, so they're going to be better than they were in week 2. Hopefully we're better than we were in week 2, and we'll go in and we'll play as hard as we can for as long as we can, and we'll see what happens.
Besides scoring more points, what are going to be the keys to the game?
You took that away from me.
Yeah.
Right? No,
you can say it again if you want to.
No. Well, that is the key. That's the main key, really, because you got to score more points than them. But ours is going to be, can we run the ball effectively in order to move the ball and run clock? And we turned ourselves into kind of a ball control team. We want to control the ball so we control the clock, so we limit the number of possessions the other team has. And because we've been able to do that, we've had some of those shutouts, and the defensive average is getting really good, but it's because the other team doesn't have the ball that often.
That's kind of what Rensselaer wants to do, too.
I know. That's what it's going to come down to, because their style offense is the same. That's what they try to do as well. By chewing up the clock and, taking the yards and just being able to run the football and throw sporadically, at different times, just to keep the defense honest. But we're going to try to control the football, see if we can't move it a little bit and do so. We're not going to trick them. You can come up with tricks, but they're not going to work because we ain't practiced them all year and we ain't done them all year. And you're not going to do it in 1 week and go out there and expect it to work right away. But we're going to have to block and tackle, and take care of the football.
The over-under on passes combined by both teams, 15? Or is that too high?
That's too high. No, you never know because hey, you don't know how the game goes. So
Right.
as you going in, because you might get in a situation where you only got time to throw. So, you try doing that. But I got 15's probably a pretty good number. But we'll see how it goes as the game goes.
What's the weather for you? You know what the weather's supposed to be like Friday night?
I think it's supposed to be not raining.
Cool.
That's well, I'm sure it'll be cool once the sun goes down. It's supposed to be cooler this weekend than last, but it's going to be a beautiful fall day. I think it's going to be beautiful fall evening. You'll be able to hear the cracking pads and the way things are supposed to be done on Friday night.
Kids getting excited?
I think so. I think they're ready to go. This week at school's been kind of chopped up. Today we had parent-teacher conference, so the kids weren't in school. I had to do a morning practice, so we came in the morning 7:30 to 9:30 in practice instead of in the evening because I had to be there till 6, and they had rescheduled our Powder Puff game for 6:30 tonight from last week when it got rained out. And at first I was upset because that's normally when we practice under the lights on these kind of days. It kind of gets the kids fired up and it's kind of neat. But they put that there, so I said, we're going to practice in the morning now. Well, today I told the principal he was a genius because it was pouring at 6:30. I said we wouldn't have practiced anyway because of the lightning and thunder. We'd have been in a gym somewhere not getting anything done. So I said he had the foresight to do that. So fortunately, we got things in and we get another day tomorrow to tune it up and get ourselves ready to go, and then, we'll see what happens.
You healthy?
Well, no, but, everybody's got dinged up. We're missing a few guys. Unfortunately, we lost Cale Ellinger like in week 3 to a knee thing, and he's not going to be back, and Braden Schoon, I believe, is out. He's got a knee issue, too, that he tried to play through it last week, and it just got worse. The week before. And he was out last week, and he sat out last week hoping he'd be ready for this week, but it hasn't gotten any better. So, unfortunately, we'll be without him as well. Other than that, Alex Miller is still out off quarantine. He's been quarantined forever, so he won't be back in time, who played corner for us. And so, but other guys have been in there, so it's not anything new. We've already been preparing for those anyway, so we've already had guys in there playing. So hopefully we're ready to go come Friday.
Probably can't wait, can you?
I'm ready, man.
Yeah, right.
It's going to be good. I think it's going to be a good night. The weather's going to be great, and it's going to be a fun night to watch some football. Everybody come out there and be good. I like to see our fans there. Our fans have been great this year. The kids have come. They're cheering, and they're doing the stuff, and you can hear them back behind you. It's really neat when you can hear, the cheerleaders and the fans and the stuff, and some of the excitement is back, and we're getting good crowd coming, and I hope they all travel over to Rensselaer and watch this, and hopefully see a good game.
No excuse for traveling 20 miles or whatever.
That's not very far. The weather's going to be nice, so, come on over there, get yourself a bite to eat somewhere, come out to the ball game, and, it should be a good game, and I want to thank all the crowd. It's really great, and I also want to thank the parents of all my players because I tell you they've been fantastic this year, all year. Setting up team meals and family meals and all the stuff that they've done. Fantastic job. Mostly, I'm assuming by the moms, but I don't know that for sure. But the food's been excellent, and we'll have another good meal tomorrow night. They always do it on Thursday night, so it'll be a really good thing, and I want to thank them for all they do. Thank the administration for everything they do as well.
Scott, appreciate you coming over, and we'll be there Friday night as well on 3KG, and looking forward to Rensselaer and North Newton.
Right, and I want to thank you guys for this and covering us coming to the game. That'll be awesome.
All right. Scott Rao from the North Newton Spartans. Back to wrap things up on the Coach's Cage on 3KG, thecage.com right after this.
High-quality personalized dental service is what they do at Hillcrest Dental. For over 40 years, generations have relied on Hillcrest Dental for beautiful, healthy smiles. Dr. John Ayler and Dr. Jack Drone look forward to seeing you for your next dental visit. For information or to set your appointment, call 219-866-7117. That's 219-866-7117 or visit hillcrestdental.net. Hillcrest Dental is a proud sponsor of all high school athletics.
Working with our customers has been Kentland Bank's trademark for 87 years. We're dedicated to making your visit a lasting one, and helping you achieve your goals is our #1 priority. With 5 locations, Kentland Bank offers all loans needed for today's businesses and families, including car loans, mortgages, agriculture, and commercial loans. We're here to make your busy life less hectic by offering online and mobile banking, bill pay, and P2P payments. Member FDIC and equal housing lender.
Hi, this is Chuck Clark with the Underwood Insurance Agency, formerly Preferred Insurance Group. Are you tired of being sacked every month with your auto insurance bill? Do you feel you just pay your premium to your agent and never hear from them? We at the Underwood Insurance Agency work with over 10 insurance carriers to get you our best rate and coverage we can, and we pride ourselves on serving our customers like they are our family. We are conveniently located in Remington and Lafayette. We can be reached at underwoodagency.com. Reach out to us to score big savings.
Meet you at Arnie's, Rensselaer's go-to pizza, and so much more. Pizza, sandwiches, burgers are here. Don't forget about dessert. Wings, cheese sticks, garlic bread too. Arnie's pizza menu has something for everyone. Dine in or carry out in the best pizza in town. Located across from St. Joseph's College in Rensselaer. Call 219-866-9999 and meet you at Arnie's.
For over 60 years, Hamster Group has helped build America. In 1958, a small Northwest Indiana builder began constructing homes. Through the years, by following the motto, quality and integrity you can depend on, Hamster Group has grown. Today, Hamster Group's associated around the country with homes, schools, shopping malls, churches, medical buildings, and more. So for your next project, large or small, and quality and integrity you can depend on, call 219-956-3111 and speak with the experts at Hamster Group.
You're listening to The Coach's Cage, presented by the Hamstra Group.
All right, thank you very much to the Hamster Group and all of our fine sponsors here, including Arnie's and also Wagon Wheel Grill. If you're looking for some great food before the big game or anytime, stop by the Wagon Wheel Grill on South College Avenue in Rensselaer. From their famous Wagon Master sandwich to the great homemade chili, the Wagon Wheel is the place to satisfy your hunger. Stop or call by or give the Wagon Wheel Grill a call. Get your meal ready, 219-866-9942. Whether you dine in or carry out your delicious meal, what satisfaction you'll have with a Wagon Master and chili combo.
Sectional week number 1, 2 local teams going at it. You can't get much better than that, Billy.
You can't get much better than that, Bob. Some of our local teams here, I think, have been playing their best ball. Some haven't experienced the greatest seasons this year, but I think most of them are playing their best right now, and that's so important. And it should provide with some interesting games this Friday, one way or the other. You know, there's some tough matchups, but there's some winnable games out there too. And I'm looking forward to the one that we're going to be at Rensselaer right here, and North Newton and Rensselaer should be a real good one in 2A.
Should be. We'll be on the air at 6:45. The kickoff at 7. Also, want to mention, too, Brad Beavis couldn't make it tonight. He had a sectional dinner that ran late. But South Newton with 5 wins after a 41-game losing streak.
You know what? They could have easily, when they broke that losing streak, just felt real good about themselves.
Yeah, with just
one. And been happy, right, and walked away and went back to their losing ways, and they didn't. They really, kept their nose to the grindstone, and boy, what a successful season they turned it into, huh? How about that 5-win You never would have expected that.
Yeah, North Newton had 6 wins, right?
6 wins, yes.
And Rensselaer had 5.
5.
5 for South Newton.
5 for South Newton, yep.
That's our area teams with over 500 records. So we're looking forward to Friday night. I'd like to thank Arnie who's here and thank all the sponsors for making the show possible. Jeff Gassno running the camera like he always does. Great job. Scotty Miller at the board work. Great job back there. Till we greet you Friday night from Emory Harrison Athletic Complex. Former partners Bill Kay, Jeff Gassno, Scotty Miller, Bob Kurtz. So long, everybody.
The proceeding was a presentation of 3KG Community Broadcasting.